Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we're going to be talking about a new topic of discussion, and this topic is going to be something that I have been thinking about for quite some time. What is this topic? Well, the concept of fighting champions versus champions that cheat. So, the reason why I am bringing this video into existence is because I am getting kind of tired of a lot of the debate going on with how a champion should be booked and all that. But in my opinion, when it comes to being a fighting champion or whatever, the main topic of this video is going to be along the lines of that a heel wrestler doesn't always have to cheat to win in their championship matches. One of the biggest things I hear a lot about wrestling fans complain about is how the heel wrestler will always cheat to win in their championship matches, and a lot of fans either criticize this from happening a lot, or they're just flat out okay with it because it's their favorite wrestler. And I look at this as an act of kind of a bit of bias. I kind of look at this as a little bit of bias and also, you know, maybe a bit of favoritism, because it also depends on who's the person that does it. So, I've been hearing a lot of people, and again, I guess it is their opinion, so, and I don't have to agree with it, but a lot of fans have been trying to debate that Liv Morgan's championship reign is far superior to Rhea Ripley's in every way, where I don't exactly agree. I constantly hear it so much on the timeline about how Rhea's title reign isn't great and whatever, but for some reason people like to say Liv's is better than Rhea's, which, come on, it's not. Come on, it's not. I don't care how much you hate Rhea Ripley. You can't say Liv's reign is better than Rhea's, because Liv has defended her title less times than Rhea Ripley did. Rhea Ripley defended it at least 9 times, from what I can gather from the amount of title matches I remember she had. Like, she defended her title against Zelina Vega, she versed Natalya a handful of times, she then faced Raquel 2 times, she then faced Zoe Stark at Survivor Series, then she had like a 5-way, I think, then she faced Ivy Nile on the first Raw, and then she fought Nia, and then Becky, which is a total of 9, because again, or maybe 10 or 11 if you count the multiple matches that she had with Raquel and Natalya, because I think she fought them twice. But regardless, all of those matches, except the 2 matches she had with Raquel, all of Rhea's title defenses, except the matches with Raquel, because she did have help in those. She did have help against Raquel, but all the matches outside of the ones against Raquel, Rhea Ripley won clean on her own without help. And she's a heel, you know, everyone says that heel wrestlers have to cheat, or whatever. But no, Rhea Ripley didn't cheat in about 90% of her matches. Again, the 2 matches she had with Raquel, Dominic got her DQ'd in one at Payback, I think it was, and in the second one, Nia Jax ended up coming back. So, when it comes to Raquel, that was the only person Rhea Ripley had help in beating. Because again, Raquel was deemed a threat to her championship reign. So, to me, that made sense. But Nia Jax and Becky Lynch were also threats to her championship, and she still beat them clean. So, I guess in Triple H's eyes, Raquel is a bigger threat than Becky Lynch and Nia Jax, which I don't buy at all. But it's whatever. But The reason why I am bringing this up is because, again, everyone likes to say Liv's reign is better. I would like you guys to find one championship match that Liv Morgan has had this year that has actually ended with her not having any help. Exactly, the answer is none. She couldn't even beat Zelina Vega on her own. And it's not a knock on, and this ain't a knock on Zelina Vega, by the way. This ain't a knock on Zelina Vega. I love Zelina. But the fact that Liv Morgan needed help to beat Zelina Vega really tells me a lot. I can understand her having help against Becky. But again, that makes Liv Morgan a hypocrite. It made Liv Morgan a hypocrite because Liv Morgan, when she was feuding with Becky Lynch over the title, she said she wanted to beat Becky Lynch fair and square, no outside shenanigans. She wanted to prove she could beat Becky Lynch on her own, which she ultimately failed to achieve. She failed to prove she could beat Becky Lynch on her own. Both times, when she won the title and Becky's last match inside the steel cage match, both times she had help. So, technically, Liv Morgan couldn't even live up to her own promise to beat Becky Lynch without any controversy. So, she failed. So, Liv Morgan failed in her own quest to prove she can beat Becky Lynch on her own. Again, she had help to beat Zelina Vega. And of course, she had help to beat Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, and so on. She's barely defended her title. She's defended it like, what, maybe 4 or 5 times? Compared to Rhea's 9 or 10 title defenses. And Liv's most of her victories have been due to outside interference. So again, this begs the question. People say heel champions have to always cheat, but yet Rhea Ripley was one of those heel champions that didn't have to cheat. But apparently that makes her title reign bad. Well, geez, no wonder why people praise Roman Reigns' title reign, because Roman Reigns' title reign was 99% of interferences. So apparently, cheating to win, being a heel, and doing what a heel is supposed to do apparently makes your reign better, which is completely and utterly dumb in my opinion. Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign, and even his World Heavyweight Championship reign. Did he ever need help in any of those matches? Gunther only had help in one match, which was against Braun Strowman, where Ludwig and Giovanni briefly interfered, but that was about it. It was just a brief interference from them. But still, Gunther didn't need help in beating Chad Gable, Ricochet, Sheamus, Shinsuke. He didn't need help to beat Sami Zayn and Randy Orton. Like, come on. Gunther and Rhea Ripley are like best examples of heel champions that don't need to rely on cheating tactics to win. This is why I get annoyed whenever a heel wrestler cheats. I do not mind if they cheat from time to time. I don't care if they cheat from time to time. But every single match? Nah, that's a bit too far. Hell, even Roxanne Perez doesn't even barely cheats. She only cheated once. And that was against Julia. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Even Roxanne Perez is more of a fighting champion than Liv Morgan. She can beat Lola on her own. She can beat Lyra on her own. She can beat Tatum on her own. She can defeat Jordynne Grace. Maybe Jordynne Grace might be the only argument because there was outside interference there. Maybe Jordynne Grace could be an argument. But Lola Vice, I think I said Lola Vice already, but you get my point. Jada Parker, she can beat most of the women on her own. Jordynne Grace and Julia might be the only ones she cheated against. It depends. The Julia one, we can say, yes, she fully cheated, 100%. But the But the Jordynne Grace one is kind of 50-50. But if you want to say that one she technically cheated, then that's 2 matches she technically had help. Because the Jordynne Grace one had Tatum Paxley and Ash by Elegance get involved, and Jordynne Grace kind of got distracted from all that because they were tug-of-warring over her belt. So that one's kind of up in the air. But the point that I am making is that everyone claims that a heel champion has to always cheat. And that is not the case at all. Heel champions do not have to always cheat. I don't care if they cheat from time to time. Like, why do you think I didn't get angry as much when, sure, I got upset that Julia didn't beat Roxanne, but it's not because I didn't get upset because Roxanne has always cheated to retain her championship. That was like one of the first times I remember seeing it happening. But the point that I am making is that not all heel champions have to be cowardly chicken shit heels. We have had many examples of heel champions defending their titles on their own. It blows my mind how it really does blow my mind. It blows my mind how some fans just prefer things this way, and also fans are very hypocritical that apparently someone like Rhea, who barely had any help, means her reign is bad, but Liv Morgan, who always has constant help in all of her matches, equals better champion, which is completely not true at all. You know for a fact Liv Morgan will have help to beat Io Sky. You know damn well Raquel is gonna help out Liv Morgan to beat Io Sky. Do you think Liv Morgan can beat Io Sky clean? It ain't gonna happen. No way, Jose. That's gonna happen. I'll be shocked if she does, but I know for a fact it won't happen. But the point I am making is that Liv Morgan has to always cheat. You know, people have always criticized WWE for always having their champions cheat to win, and they also get annoyed whenever their champions get pinned. Cry me a river. That's just, WWE has always done that. Cry me a river. WWE have always had the champions, lose matches from time to time in regular, normal matches, like with Roxanne losing to Stephanie and Zarya and all that. But, WWE has always done that. The champions have always taken losses on episodes of Raw or SmackDown before a big pay-per-view or whatever. They tend to do that a lot anyway. The fact that fans are still not used to that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. The fact that fans still complain about that to this very day, while I agree the champions shouldn't be losing, like the person that gets pinned, if you want them to lose, you don't have to pin them. Well, yes, I definitely agree with that term, but it's something we're used to. WWE does it all the time. And it's something we're used to. AEW don't rarely have the champions lose on Dynamite or Rampage, even though Anna Jay beat Mariah May once in a non-title match. It's very rare. In AEW's case, that's kind of rare, because you rarely ever see AEW's champions, lose on Dynamite or Rampage or Collision. But on WWE TV, it's kind of constant. I mean, hell, you didn't see Rhea Ripley lose matches on Raw. They didn't have Rhea Ripley lose matches on Raw, or Gunther, or hell, even Roman Reigns. But again, it's kind of funny to me how fans complain about how WWE can't build a good babyface, but whenever they do build up good babyfaces, they then start complaining that now the heels look weak or whatever. People just won't change. And the point of this video was to me pointing out that heel wrestlers do not have to always cheat. And I wish WWE would just do this with everybody. They shouldn't have to do this with just Rhea or Gunther or Roman. Like, sure, not every heel needs to be a fighting champion and win cleanly. I didn't even like that Io had help. Again, she's a heel. I didn't even like that Io Sky needed Bayley and Dakota's help to retain when she was the champion. When she was the champion briefly. Like, she's Io freaking Sky. She doesn't need help. She's Io freaking Sky. Does she really need anybody helping her to retain her championship? I just don't like that. Like, oh, if you're a babyface, you will fight fair and you'll defend your title fairly. But if you're a bad guy, you always have to be nefarious. Which I'm fine with the heel champions cheating from time to time. But I don't want it to be a constant thing. Which is something that we see so much nowadays. We see the heel champions always constantly cheating and taking advantage. Like Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, The Bloodline. We see it so damn often. And it pisses me off that whenever we do have people like Gunther or Rhea who actually be fighting champions as heels and actually win on their own, people just call them bad or say they call them bad or whatever. Like, oh, like, it's just whatever. Like, I don't get it. Not all heel wrestlers need to cheat, and I think it is something that WWE needs to start developing more, as heel wrestlers don't have to always take dirty routes to win matches.